Hey guys, welcome to Story Time today. Thanks again for tuning in. I know it's kind of a little gloomy where I am. The sun is just starting to come out, so it's a great day for a book, just like every day. Today we have another borrowed book that a family dropped off for me because I was starting to run out of books. And so if you liked the book that we read a couple days ago called If I Built a House, then maybe you will like this one. It's by the exact same writer. It's called A Camping Spree with Mr. Magee, and it's all about a camping trip. Hey Harper, hey Ian, thanks for joining. It's all about a camping trip. So I don't know about you, when I was a little kid, I did not love camping. My dad tried to take us camping a couple times, and I don't know, when I was little, I didn't love it. Hi Lucas, thanks for tuning in, buddy. Now that I'm older, I think I like it a little bit better, but I like being out in nature, so, you know, I'm kind of getting a little warmed up to the idea of camping, but I know lots of kids love camping. I love being out in nature. I love just being able to look at the stars and take a nature walk. Lucas, I know you like to be outside too, so we are going to read all about Mr. Magee, and he has a dog named Dee, and they go on a camping trip, and there's a little bit of trouble that they run into, so we will see. So today is A Camping Spree with Mr. Magee, and we will go ahead and get started. Parents, just a reminder, if you want to turn your phone like this and not like that, then the kids might be able to see the book a little bit better, okay? Here we go, and we're off. Early one morning at 7:03, Mr. Magee and his little dog Dee packed up the camper and hitched up the load, hopped in the Rambler, and then hit the road. They drove to the mountains far from the sea for 2 nights of camping, or possibly 3. "There's nothing like camping," said Mr. Magee. "I know you'll love it. Just you wait and see. The views are fantastic. There's hardly a sound. Aside from the wildlife, there's no one around. And the air is so sweet, you'll sleep like a log," said Mr. Magee to his small spotted dog. A few hours later, they took a sharp right and found a great spot to lay camp for the night. It was high on a hill with a beautiful view of Mount Adams, Mount Lincoln, and Jefferson too, but perhaps the most wonderful feature of all was the brook that ran over a steep waterfall. Dee gathered pine cones and branches and logs. Magee made a campfire and cooked some hot dogs. And as the sun set behind far distant knolls, they sat roasting marshmallows over the coals. As the embers went out, they felt tired and dozy, so they climbed in their bunk beds all comfy and cozy. But while they were falling asleep without care, along came a stumbling, bumbling bear! A kindly old bear whose sight wasn't so clear. He couldn't see far and he couldn't see near, but he could smell marshmallows, sticky and sweet. The smell made him hungry. He wanted a treat. He sniffed out the place where the marshmallows lie, but the car and the camper were in the bear's way, yet that didn't stop the sneaky old snitch. He simply tried squeezing right under the hitch, and as he was shimmying up the gap, he pushed up the hitch, which let go with a snap. Now the camper and car were untied. They started to roll down the rocky hillside. The car bounced away on the old logging road, while the camper was heading to where the stream flowed. It flew down the hill in a wild, bumpy ride, with Dee and Magee sleeping soundly inside. They were snoring and snoozing, enjoying a dream, when splash, the camper went right into the stream. The splash shook the camper. They bumped out of bed. "Now what in the world was that?" Magee said, and when he looked out and saw where they were, his hair stood on end, and so did Dee's fur. They were caught in the rapids, but that wasn't all. They were headed smack dab for the big waterfall. Dee and Magee both started to quiver as faster and faster they headed down river. But just when they thought they'd fall over the edge, their camper got stuck on a rock on the ledge. So there they were stranded, Magee and his pup, on the top of a waterfall, 50 feet up. Meanwhile, that nearsighted bear from before was searching for one little marshmallow more, when lo and behold, as if out of a dream, he spied something sweet floating over the stream. But what the bear thought was a marshmallow treat was really the hitch and not something to eat. The bear was determined to capture his prize, so he jumped in the water right up to his thighs. He splashed through the stream to the edge of the fall and snatched up the trailer hitch, camper and all. Dee felt a tug. Magee heard a knock as the bear pulled the camper right off the rock. He dragged them both all the way back to the bank when he realized the hitch was not sweet, but quite rank. He spit out the hitch and left in dismay, while Magee and Dee's camper again rolled away. It flew down the path with a jolt and a jar and stopped in some bushes right next to the car. Dee popped her head out. Magee looked too. Had they really stopped rolling? Could it be true? At last things were quiet and peaceful and still. They hooked up the hitch and drove off down the hill. And on the way home, Magee said to Dee, "That trip wasn't quite like I thought it would be." So when they got home with the sky turning red, they decided to camp in the backyard instead. The end. So, they did not have the adventure they thought they would have, but luckily they made it home safely, thanks to the bear, actually. So just remember, when you go camping, if you are roasting marshmallows, be sure to put them away because those bears can smell food. Like even if it's hidden, they can smell food. So when you go camping with your family next, it is your job to make sure you remind your mommy and daddy to put all of that food away so no bear finds your truck and thinks it is a marshmallow. So, you know, I know we're stuck at home. We're maybe not off taking camping adventures right now, but what you can do is you can turn on your imagination and you can go camping at your very own home. And so maybe you can make a blanket fort in your living room and get all sorts of blankets and pillows and chairs and kind of make a fun little tent in your living room, and you can pretend you're camping that way. Or you can, if you have a real tent, you can set it up in your backyard. You can bring some pillows out there and some books and some toys, and you can kind of pretend that you're camping somewhere off on a great big adventure. Just like my friend Jeremy, he goes off on lots of adventures. I know he's watching right now. Mr. Jeremy goes camping all over the place. I know the Murphy boys are watching. They go camping all the time. Their family loves to go camping. I'm so glad so many of you tuning in today love to go camping. I hope you never have an adventure with a bear like that, but hope you do turn your imaginations on and do a little bit pretend camping while we're all stuck at our homes the next couple weeks. Mr. Jeremy says he loves camping at home, so you guys can have fun camping at home too. You can pretend you're looking at stars. You can make shadow puppets. You can read books. You can eat popcorn. You can have some marshmallows. So you guys have fun using your imagination and camping at home. And parents, if you would like, feel free to share this video with anybody who needs a quick little book reading at home. And you guys stay well and keep reading. Thanks for joining.